भोलि हाम्रो बुट क्याम्प छ एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप डेभलपमेन्टको। भोलिको लागि एकदमै यहाँनिर हामी खट्दैछौँ र विशेष यहाँनिर सुमित सरको पनि एकदमै ठुलो भूमिका छ है। यहाँ हाम्रो सरले चेयरहरू मिलाउनु हुँदैछ। यहाँनिर एटलिस्ट 60 जनाको चाहिँ सिटिङ चाहिँ मिलाउने ट्राई गरेको र यहाँनिर यो एलइडी उयोहरू पनि सबै मिलाइरहेको छ हो, मिलाउँदैछ। खासमा मेन यो एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप बुट क्याम्पको उद्देश्य चाहिँ के हो भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब हाम्रो समाजमा है नानीहरू पढेर अब नोकरीपट्टि लाग्छ, तर नोकरी पाउनु अलिकति मतलब सम्भव छ, तर अलिकति साह्रो कठिन परेको कारणले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ हाम्रो डिपार्टमेन्टमा हामीले चाहिँ के पहल उठाएको छौँ भने अब एन्टरप्रेन्योरशिप डेभलपमेन्ट सेल छ। अनि यसबाट चाहिँ हामी स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूलाई इन्सपायर मोटिभेट गर्छौँ नयाँ बिजनेस गर्नुको लागि। र हाम्रो टाइअप चाहिँ अटल इन्क्युबेसन सेन्टर अनि इनोभेसन सेन्टर है एसएमआइटीसँग छ। र भोलि उहाँबाट एक्सपर्ट्सहरू आउनुहुँदैछ, प्रोफेसरहरू, अनि आएर स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूलाई मोटिभेट अनि अवेरनेस क्याम्प भोलि हामीले सुरु गरिरहेको छौँ। र यो भ्लग तपाईँले मन पराउनुहुन्छ होला। अनि भोलि स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूको पिचिङ कम्पिटिसन पनि छ र स्टुडेन्ट्सहरूले है अब राम्रो पिचिङ गरेपछि उनीहरूलाई एउटा मोटिभेसन स्वरूप केही दिने प्रदान गरिने भनेर पनि हामीले सोचेको छौँ।
चाहिँ हामी फर्स्ट टाइम एउटा एसएमआइटीले र एआइसीले चाहिँ अब उनीहरूले अब फर्स्ट टाइम अब हामीलाई पत्ताको जस्तो लाग्यो है एउटा त। अन्त फेरि त्यो कारणले गर्दा उनीहरूले हाम्रो हेल्प मागिरहेको थियो र हामीले त्यो किन भन्दा हाम्रो अलरेडी मणिपालमा चाहिँ एउटा इडिसी जुन चाहिँ सेल छ मणिपालभरिमा हाम्रो डिपार्टमेन्टलाई चाहिँ यसको के जिम्मा दिएको छ। अन्त हाम्रो ऐतेश्वरै हुनुहुन्छ कोअर्डिनेटर यसको। अन्त त्यही प्रोग्रामले लिएर नै अब हामी भोलि सानो बुट क्याम्प गर्दैछ। यो बुट क्याम्पको उद्देश्य अघि ऐतेश्वरले भनिसक्यो, तर म चाहिँ के भन्नु एडिसन गर्नु चाहन्छु भन्दाखेरि यस्तो प्रोग्रामहरू चाहिँ कन्टिन्युसली भयो भने चाहिँ यहाँको युथहरू जति पनि छ, किन डिफ्रेन्ट कलेजेसहरूमा युनिभर्सिटीहरूमा खालि मान्छे पढेर मात्रै ठुलो मान्छे हुन्छ भन्ने पनि छैन। कतिवटा आइडिया, कतिवटा उनीहरूकोमा भएको आइडिया भन्नु न सिम्पल है, त्यो जुन चाहिँ आइडिया छ त्यो आइडियाले गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ कतिवटा बिजनेस एन्टरप्रेन्योरहरू जुन चाहिँ सरकारले अब जुन चाहिँ इम्प्लोइमेन्ट जेनेरेसन गर्नु सकेको छैन भने सेल्फ इम्प्लोइमेन्ट भन्ने एउटा कन्सेप्ट छ। र एज अ एन्टरप्रेन्योर पनि अब सेल्फ इम्प्लोइमेन्ट भएर एउटा समाजलाई कन्ट्रिब्युसन गरेर नट एज अ इम्प्लोइ बट एज अ इम्प्लोयर भएर इम्प्लोइ जेनेरेसन गर्नु चाहिँ सबभन्दा ठुलो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ एज अ एन्टरप्रेन्योरको योगदान चाहिँ यो हाम्रो समाजमा चाहिँ। त्यो कारणले गर्दा हामीले सानो पहल गर्दैछ। सक्सेस हुनु फेलियर हुनु सेकेन्डरी हो, तर यसरी नै सानो सानो पहल गर्दै गयो भने चाहिँ भोलि पर्सि चाहिँ सायद हुनसक्छ हाम्रो डिपार्टमेन्टबाट, हाम्रो मणिपालबाट कोही एउटा यस्तो एन्टरप्रेन्योर निस्किला जसले चाहिँ अब सायद अब माथि लेभलसम्म पुग्ला। अन्त फेरि हामी त्यही सानो कोसिस गरिरहेको छौँ। त्यति भन्ने म धन्यवाद सर।
गुड मर्निङ रेस्पेक्टेड भाइस चान्सलर सर, लेफ्टिनेन्ट जेनरल डक्टर राजन एस ग्रेवाल, एभिएसएम VSM, respected registrar sir, Professor Dr. Karmasunam Sherpa, respected Dean SMIMS, Dr. Murlidhar Pai, respected Directorate of Research, Ma'am Dr. Vidita Kandelwal, respected PK Mitra sir, HOI of departments, dignitaries, convener IIC SMIT Dr. Vikas Sharma, Program Manager AIC SMU TBI Mr. Pankaj Anand, CEO AIC SMU TBI Dr. Tej, I, Prayas Gupta, Assistant Professor, DHSS SMU, would like to welcome all our esteemed dignitaries on our first ever one-day boot camp on entrepreneurship organized by Institution Innovation Council IIC, SMIT and AIC SMU TBI, hosted by Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, SIKKIM Manipal University. The main motive of this program is elevating awareness amongst the interested students and faculty members who is to gain insight on entrepreneurship and way forward. To start with our session, let me invite Mrs. Srijana Sharma, Convener, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, for our welcome address.
You all, I take this platform to inform you that the boot camp on entrepreneur will completely enlighten your perception through the deliberative discussion given by our very talented resource person. Now, I would like to request our coordinator, Dr. Madan Chetri, Department of Humanities and Social Sciences, to offer khadas and the circulars that has been provided by one of our faculty from SIKKIM MANIPAL Institute of Humanity.
So these are primarily the key terms that we normally come across: entrepreneurship, startup, entrepreneur, pre-incubation and incubation. So just have a brief idea on what all these things are. So entrepreneurship is nothing but a process of starting and developing a company with the aim of delivering something new or improved to the market, or by organizing the means of production in a superior way. This is one way of understanding. So as I told you in my during my introductory note, that it's not all about having business and everything. It's about what we are contributing to the society and the nation at large.
If you are solving somebody's problem, only then they will be willing to pay, right? So the problem statement should be correct. So what is the problem statement? How should you be talking to the customer? Customer conversation. What is the template for a customer conversation? That we give each and every all the basics of entrepreneurship. We train you in there. Then going ahead to the next program, that we have acceleration program, wherein we take the startups which are in kind of at least they have done a pilot, or they have generated some kind of revenue, or at least they are in market. So for them we have a different set of program wherein we train them about branding, marketing, legal things, and also about raising the equity. That is raising the investments. The third module that we have is completely 1 month focused program on how to raise investments. So for that we train them what all things should be there in their pitch deck, what all they should speak. Basically the general timing given to a startup for pitching is 7 to 8 minutes. So within that 7 to 8 minutes you will have to tell each and everything to the investor.
Today everybody talks about startup. Yes? How many of you know what is a startup? Have you heard of a startup? Especially I would like to know if the medical students have heard about a startup. How many of you have heard? How many of the medicos whom you have heard or known has successfully created some startup? Any one of you are aware of it? No. Sorry?
Dr. Reddy.
Dr. Reddy? Okay, Dr. Reddy. And anybody else? Yes, because it apparently looks like it's uncommon for some of the professional courses for them to hear entrepreneurship being executed by them. For instance, a lot of lawyers don't believe that they can have a startup. A lot of doctors don't believe that they can actually have a startup. But having said that, most of the people in the humanities department have understood, probably has actually because of the lesser opportunity, if I have to say today, because everybody thinks that a government job is the best job, because I think there is some strike going on because of some Agniveer and all the stuff. And you know why is the reason for that? Because in India we prefer government jobs. Why do we prefer government jobs? Because of? Somebody said? Security. Very good. What is job security? Job security is a job where you go to work, even without doing your job, if you get your salary, that is what is called job security. Did I define it well? Yes. Because if you go to work, and if you just get paid whether you work or not, then that is called job security as per the Indian definition. Okay? So this is what we define job security. That's why all our parents want our children to go have a government job. Yes? So likewise, when the CEO of Google, it is not a real story, I'm just giving you an example just before I begin. His mother was invited, because this is a joke that is circulated amongst the CEOs of incubators across the country, because we belong to a larger group of cohorts of incubators. There are about 450 incubators across the country. Yeah. So when we circulate, we said one of the news agency went and interviewed the CEO of Google, the mother of CEO of Google. So, आपका बेटा CEO बन गया Google का, आपको कैसा लग रहा है? Have you heard of this joke? Okay. So the mother said, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, थोड़ा और पढ़ लेता तो government job मिल जाता. Yeah? That is the kind of concept we have. We want to come out of this, because any job, whether you do in a private organization or in a government sector, be it any organization, if you are good at your job, everything has a job security. Nobody would like you to go or leave that organization. They would ulta counter offer you and ask you to stay, and they'll start offering you better. So that is what is job security for us. As an educated person, it is important for you to understand the difference between the job security that we defined earlier and the job security we talk today, because even in government jobs, as we move forward, I think you have heard about people forcibly asked to retire. Yeah, the recent trends that has been coming in. Yeah, that means job security is for people who really know how to work. You cannot possibly just ensure that by working for the government you'll get your salary. That's not the correct way. With that, I'm moving forward. Okay. Why I'm going to move forward is, having said that, if you are talking about a startup, what is a startup? That's the first thing that we need to know. A startup is nothing but a temporary organization. Again, how is it possible? We keep talking about startup, and then this guy is coming and telling me this is a temporary organization. How can a startup be a temporary organization? Because the definition of startup as per the government of India says that you should have, at least the organization that you run should have less than 20 crore rupees worth. The company should be less than 20 crore rupees, or it should be less than 10 years old. If you cross these two definitions, you are no longer a startup, but you are a business. You are a business. There's a difference, because you have a short duration of time. Flipkart was a startup, Amazon was a startup, all that you see, Tesla was a startup. Do you think Tesla is a startup today? It's a business. Do you think Facebook used to be a startup? Is it a startup today? It cannot be, because it's one of the richest companies. It's one of the first company to went into Apple is one of the first company to went on to become the $1 trillion company, isn't it? Apple is one of them. And how can you call it as a startup? Yes? Elon Musk lost, one day's loss is equivalent to the wealth of Ambani, right? That's the kind of wealth they have created from a startup.
I opened up a home bakery because all the shops were shut and people were having trouble, because people are very much into confectionaries. It's been going on since the 17th century. The cakes have been going on, and we need cakes each and every.
I'm Nevarina Kushner. I'm from the Senior Business, that is Department of Human Services. And I'm here to apparently pitch my product line or my business, which I've already started, and it's called Bespoke Customizations. Though we are able to not get water resources, but it is a drawback for us where we are not able to effectively and efficiently make use of that given resources to us. So taking the situation, like the current situation, the mere drawback that situation of SIKKIM, like we as an individual we are facing, is the ban of mineral water, that is the plastic mineral water, then due to which it has affected many individuals. So as it is a natural thing to feel thirsty at any time and at any place.
Become first year, standing in front of you to introduce a very small idea of introducing an official SMU sweaters.
Production in SIKKIM will be consumed by the household, and 60% of this goods will go on waste, and only
boot camp. So basically, we are trying to develop an app in which is for a university app, university-wide app, where the users are going to communicate amongst themselves, and the faculty members are also going to be there. You may ask me this question: why make?
From first year. So right now, we joined college, and the most the problematic thing for us is to carry our luggage. We consider it luggage because we have a lot of stuff to carry, and there is no space in our bag. So we were thinking of a bag which has compartments, and
Like we can carry everything in one little bag, and then we don't need to carry 2 or 3 bags. So there is a compartment for our books or laptops that we carry, water bottle, and especially shoes. Yeah, shoes are.
I'm speechless actually. Because see, entrepreneurship is emotion for me, and because of this, teaching has become a mission for me, not a duty. Because see, I come from a place where, you know, we are always fighting for our identity. I come from Kalimpong, Darjeeling, and I have been reading a lot of books, like, you know, a lot of, I was part of some movements also one point of time. And then we are shouting for our identity, especially Northeastern, you know, people like us. But now see, when we do a lot of research and study, what I found was the topmost countries in the world, Japan, America, they all started with this entrepreneurial journey. And in India also, if you see the most advanced communities, they belong to this business community. And what I felt was, if they can do, why not we can do? And I too have started a lot of business, you know. Being a professor in this field, I belong to a finance field and my specialization in stock market actually. But now what I thought was, being a teacher, we can motivate students at least to become an entrepreneur, but for that we need some kind of platform. Because without platform it is not possible for us to excel in this, you know, arena. And I would like to thank, you know, Professor Tej, because I met him long back and he was very much encouraging, and you know, I came to know that at least I found one step where we can, you know, push students to this very field of entrepreneurship journey. And after that I met Professor Vikas sir, and he is very much, you know, helpful, and he have a vision too in this very journey of entrepreneurship. So to thank is, giving a thank is a very difficult task, and I'm very bad on it, to be humble enough. So I'd like to start thanking from, you know, Sumit sir, and I was thinking to start this EDC cell since so, you know, many years, from 2017, but with the help of colleagues like Sumit sir, it's been possible. And obviously, you know, Srijana ma'am, under her leadership, we are able to conduct this boot camp today. And obviously our dynamic sir, Prayas sir, and many more, all the staff from SIMIT, and especially my thank goes to, you know, staff from SIMIT and students especially, because without you guys it was not possible to conduct this program. I was very much, you know, afraid also at one point of time, like we organized this but we are not sure how many students will turn up. But now, you know, so many of you are here, and even though you belong to medical you know, arena, some of you from commerce or different courses you belong to, but we have a feeling, we believe into this entrepreneurial journey, and this is what is connecting us. So I would like to thank all the dignitaries who's not present here, you know, especially the management, because they give us a platform to act independently. And even though, you know, Dajus and Didi who helped us to arrange all these chairs and all, because without them it was not possible for us to arrange it. And we are not perfect, you know. I am not perfect, because we all of us are imperfect and trying to do some perfect things. So sometimes there is kind of a spurt, and sometimes, you know, we argue also. But that all leads to a very productive you know, objective, because we are trying to do something good for the society, for the country itself. And please, you know, excuse me, ani malai maafi dinuhoस् agar if I have left anybody's name, right? And thank you once again. So we'll meet in future again with the same enthusiasm and energy. Thank you so much. Thank you.